The story behind League of Legends, Episode 10, Ionia. Ionia is a land of unspoiled beauty and natural magic. Its inhabitants, living in scattered settlements across this massive island continent, are a spiritual people who seek to live in harmony and balance with the world. There are many orders and sects across Ionia, each following their own, often conflicting, paths and ideals. Self-sufficient and isolationist, Ionia has remained largely neutral in the wars that have ravaged Valoran over the centuries, until it was invaded by Noxus. This brutal conflict and occupation has forced Ionia to reassess its place in the world. How it reacts and the future path Ionia will follow is as of yet undetermined. However, animosity against Noxus has led to militarization and vigilantism. Thirst for the dark arts is on the rise. Locations: Ionia is a continent-spanning nation off the east coast of the Valoran, northeast of Noxus. The currently well-known locations encompassing Ionia are: Astral Grove. Astral Grove is Soraka's place of origin and previous home before her fall. It is directly linked to Ionia through a portal. Bard Mountain. Bard Mountain is the location of the floating villages which housed an incredibly powerful celestial artifact, and was the first recent location from which Bard came to intervene in mortal affairs. Celestial Fortress. Celestial Fortress is the floating castle of Syndra, currently somewhere above Ionia. Galrin. Galrin is an island in southernmost Ionia. Hirana Monastery. Hirana Monastery is a place of which monks are renowned for self-control, located somewhere in the northeast regions. Giant Pass. Located in the southern province of Xi'an, Giant Pass was the location where Cottagen was captured by Kushal, Shun and Zed. The Blossom Festival was held here. Ionian Capital City. The Ionian capital city, located in the southwestern part of Ionia, northwest of Navori. The Lotus Garden, a sacred place mainly used as an area for meditation, is found in the capital city. Kashuri Armories. Located in the southern parts of Ionia, the Kashuri Armories have been making weapons for a long time, mostly swords and bows. The war against Noxus had changed that. They began making poor copies of Hextech weapons during the war. Now they have been inspired to make new weapons harnessing the abundant magic in Ionia. Hextech uses a little bit of magic very efficiently. Cottagen's weapons use a lot of magic. Kinkua Monastery. The Kinkua Monastery is the home to an ancient warrior clan, on the northwestern island. Lhotlan Tribe. Located deep within an unknown Ionian magical forest, it is the home of the Lhotlan tribe of humanoid Ibn Vestia of the same name. The most well-known inhabitants from this tribe are the freedom fighters known as Rakan and Zaya. Master Yi's village. The birthplace of Master Yi and the art of Wuju, it has since been destroyed during the Noxian invasion of Ionia. Navori. Navori is a region located in the southern Ionian mainland. Amakalan. Known as the heart of the world, the grove is a sacred place all Ionians. Chimeric beings, the Vestia, half human, half animal, protected its most important landmark, the God Willow, a massive tree, dripping with long gossamer leaves that shimmered with golden green light. During ancient times, a battle between the grove's protectors and Freldridian warriors ended with the God Willow's destruction. The whimpers of countless beasts, the bawling of rivers, the howling of trees and the dripping tears of moss, they lamented the God Willow's death in a symphony of mourning. Centuries have passed, and at the place where the God Willow once stood, a being known as the Green Father emerged with a clear in his mission and purpose in life, to protect all life and teach the world's people to respect and appreciate all that is. Placidium. The Placidium, one of Ionia's most iconic structures, it is located in the heart of the nation atop one of its largest nexuses. This building is home to the School of Transcendentalism, an organization dedicated to raising Runeterra's populace to the greatest spiritual heights possible. The school is most noted for having the league champion Soraka as part of its governing board of regents. Beings from all across Runeterra flock to the school, seeking the secrets of spiritual enlightenment. Many of Ionia's most successful diplomats have spent at least some time studying at the School of Transcendentalism. The Serene Garden, the garden in which the great tree grows and the main area for events, and the Shoji Monastery, the place of repentance, are found inside the Placidium. Shimon tribe. Located deep within a known Ionian magical jungle, it is the home of the humanoid simian Vestia of the same name. The most well-known inhabitant of this tribe is the Wutu disciple known as Wukan. Shanzan. Shanzan is a region located east of Nagori. Temple of Palace. The Temple of Palace is located somewhere in the southern regions. Temple of the Jagged Knife. The Temple of the Jagged Knife is controlled by Zed's Order of the Shadows. It has been previously ransacked by Gangplank and his pirate crew. Tevasa Mountain. At the footholds of this mountain there is a small peaceful village with approximately 100 people. During the Noxian invasion of Ionia, pillaging Noxian soldiers were defeated by the hands of Ari, the nine-tailed fox who grew attached to all the villagers and had a desire to protect them from harm. Tula. Tula is a city located in the southern mountainous province of Xi'an. It is in its prison where Kata Jin was initially imprisoned by Kushal, Shen and Zed. Xi'an. A southern mountainous province of Ionia, it was previously plagued by the infamous Golden Demon. Tula and Giant Pass are located within this region. Before the invasion of Ionia, Xi'an was known to have its own council. Culture. The island nation of Ionia is a haven for beings who seek spiritual evolution and enlightenment. While populated primarily by humans, some Yordles and beings of unique origin also make Ionia their home. There are many spiritual centers and schools of enlightenment in Ionia, each one working in harmony with one another to find the answers to life's mystical questions. Why are we here? Who are we? What does life truly mean? Such pursuits leave little time for thoughts of imperialism. The Ionians are extremely peaceful by nature. The Ionians dedicate their lives to pursuing spiritual enlightenment instead of conflict. What kind of enlightenment is up to the individual? The mystics of Ionia delve into many mysteries, pioneering the very depths of spirituality. While many of them devote themselves to the pursuit of peace and light, there are those who walk different paths. Some pursue the beauty of perpetual sorrow, some the excitement of darkness, some the vitality of the primal. Most Ionians find violence distasteful and try not to resort to using it when resolving issues. That does not mean, however, that they are helpless or unable to defend themselves. Diplomacy is an art in Ionia, and Ionian diplomats are revered by its citizens. Ionian courts are known all across Valoran as paradigms of fairness and neutrality. Ionian adjudicators are some of the most sought-after political individuals from all the nations. Ionia is a place visually marked by numerous gardens and temples. Nature preserves and parks fill the Ionian countryside. A serene aesthetic dominates the landscape, even at its harbor and in its industrial sectors. Buildings are constructed with the goal of preserving the environment as much as possible. All of Ionia's structures are ornately decorated, especially the temples. Magic is used liberally in the city, though only for peaceful purposes. Several of the nation's largest nexuses have been shaped into prominent temples and houses of communal contemplation. Festivals. Blossom Festival. A festival where painters, musicians, calligrapher and other types of artists celebrate the artistry of Ionia. One such festival was held in Giant Pass in the Xi'an province where the infamous Kata Jin was finally captured. The Fire and Blood Moon Festivals. Ionians from every province gathered beneath the flowered branches of the great tree, in the serene gardens yesterday for the nation's annual Festival of Fire. An early summer tradition, this festival was a symbol of Ionian culture, celebrating the cleansing and rebirth of the spirit. From the sunset till the dawn the citizen of Ionia faced the blood moon to cleanse their fears and woes. Lunar Revel. Closely tied with the mythological story of the Lunar Guardian, Lunar Revel is a seasonal celebration where citizens celebrate the end of the previous year and the start of the new. It has some similar traditions with the Festival of Fire and the Blood Moon which is celebrated during the summer season. Government. Ionia has one of the most unusual governmental structures in all of Runeterra. This is partially because of its neutral political stance, and also because people in Ionia have generally eschewed conflict in favor of their unending quest for enlightenment. The power and wisdom of those who are considered blessed or enlightened, such as Soraka, the Star-Child, are taken into account with a great amount of respect. The lack of military involvement has prevented Ionia from needing a single defined leader such as the other nations have. Instead, Ionia is divided into provinces which are each represented by an elder. To determine who becomes an elder, a competition called the Distinction is held every 5 years. This competition has several trials which test its candidates across a wide array of skills. Schools in each region send their finest adepts, men and women, who have trained their bodies and minds in the path to enlightenment, to represent them in the Distinction. The prevailing elders from each region then gather at the convergence of elders thrice annually, or whenever any elder calls for an emergency assembly. Duchess Karma, the Enlightened One, resides among them. Amazingly, there has never been a recorded power struggle within this system, but this is generally thought to be due to the trial of humility, one of the most critical and revered tests in the Distinction. Organizations. The Ionians have created some of the most remarkable martial art forms on all of Runeterra, a manifestation of their pursuit of enlightenment. The art of Heighten is a blade style developed by the famed swordsman Master Leto. His art was a highly guarded secret, but it was said that swords would breathe in his grasp. When Master Leto died, his daughter Irelia, the Will of the Blades, inherited the Heighten style. Irelia has since taken the art form to new heights, as she is capable of telekinetically commanding multiple blades. The weapons dance around her fluidly, effortlessly cutting down opponents within her vicinity. The art of Wuju are principles founded on obtaining absolute spiritual awareness of oneself and one's enemy. Master Yi, the Wuju bladesman, the keeper of this ancient art, descended from one of the few tribes dedicated to the preservation of Wuju. Due to the massacre of his kin, Master Yi is now one of the last Wuju practitioners. He has pledged to keep the Wuju style alive by teaching the art form to other individuals, such as Wukong the Monkey King. The Shoji Monastery is home to many monks who have delved to the deepest depths of spirituality. Their adepts are some of the most devout proponents of personal harmony within oneself. Though the monks deplore violence, they are not defenseless, as they are skilled enough to turn and redirect an opponent's strikes. In an act of selflessness, the monks took in Udyr, the animal spirit, and taught him how to harness and control this animalistic fury, most of the time. The Kinku order exists as an ancient clan originating in the Ionian Isles dedicated to the preservation of balance. Order, chaos, light, darkness, all things must exist in perfect harmony, for such is the way of the universe. The order employs a triumvirate of shadow warriors to uphold its causes in the world. The three shadow warriors Shen, Kennen and Akali are each entrusted with one of three sacred duties: watching the stars, coursing the sun, and pruning the tree. The order, however, has since fallen before the new Order of the Shadow. The Order of the Shadow is a new clan that has dedicated themselves to learning the forbidden art of the shadows, and killing anyone who refuses to learn. Their leader, Zed, the Master of Shadows, was the first to learn the technique again after 200 years. By using the art of the shadows, they were able to bring down the ancient order of the Kinku, and have since used their lands as their own training grounds. The Shoji Monastery is home to peaceful monks that have long practiced the martial arts of inner healing. Through meditation, the monks are capable of rejuvenating from injuries at a heightened rate. Some of these priests can also display acts of incredible willpower, such as suffering through agonizing amounts of pain for weeks without crying out. Li Xin, the blind monk, resides within the monastery, having journeyed there years ago in hopes of obtaining atonement for past mistakes. The Palace Temple Guardian was a solitary role given only to the most exceptional Ionian warriors. Serving as the temple's warden, the Guardian would keep watch over the Pitta Palace, an ancient pit of corruption so vile that many feared it could envelop the island in darkness. Sadly, the reclusive position no longer exists. The last guardian, Varus, the arrow of retribution, allowed himself to be consumed by the pit's black flames, obtaining more power for his vengeance against Noxus. Relations. Bandle City. Yorgland and Ionia appear to have a neutral relationship, as there is very little association between the two nations. However, the possible exception to this neutrality is Kenan, the Heart of the Tempest. Born from Bandle City, Kenan possessed boundless energy that found no limits and was matched only by his unnerving speed. His astonishing gifts remain unnoticed until he ran straight up the great outer wall of the Placidium in Ionia. When word of this feat reached the Kinka Order, Kenan was quickly and quietly brought for an audience. He found that the role of the Heart of the Tempest suited him, frenetically delivering both the word and the punishments of the Kinku across the realm. While Kenan's position in the Order prevents him from favoring one side over another, he appears to have a deep affection for Ionia. Bilgewater. During Noxus hostilities on Ionian soil, many pirates from Bilgewater sailed to the island nation. For years they ruthlessly pillaged the settlements along the island's coastlines, and fought naval battles with Ionian vessels when engaged. Even after the war, many Ionians still feel deep enmity towards Bilgewater due to their denizens' actions. Demacia. While Demacia campaigned against Noxus's imperial ambitions, Demacia was unable to prevent the disasters that was inflicted on Ionia. It is unclear if Ionians feel animosity towards the Demacians that showed incapability. Freljord. Not much is known about the current relations between the two nations. However, the first ever interaction between the two cultures ended up with the destruction of the god Willow by a stranded band of Freljordian warriors. Noxus. After the defeat of Noxus and the return of annexed lands, it is unclear of the present political conditions. It is well known, however, that many Ionians have a vendetta against Noxus. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to share video and subscribe us channel.